The COVID-19 pandemic resulted in a rise in gender-based violence. In light of International Women's Day on March 8th, Birchway Niagara is seeking support from the community to help put an end to violence against women.
During the pandemic, we really saw an increase in the severity of violence against women. So we saw a lot more physical abuse and higher indicators of lethality. So a lot of things like strangulation, which we didn't see a lot of before. And so during the pandemic, we saw a lot of that.
Following the conclusion of the pandemic, Birchway Niagara experienced a surge in demand for their services.
Our crisis line is busier than ever, more family-based than individual-based women that are seeming to be suffering from abuse, calling and reaching out. And unfortunately, we're having to find them alternative housing because the shelter's been at capacity for as long as we can remember. So really, since the end of the pandemic, we're seeing sort of a fallout of the stresses that people were experiencing. And now women are able to get out, get access to support. So we're seeing a huge spike in the number of people trying to get safety at the shelter.
Birchway Niagara is committed to providing a safe and supportive environment for those affected by gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence and intimate partner violence got a lot of attention during the pandemic because we were worried that women were locked at home, unable to get safety. Often when women reach out to our services, they do it while their partner's at work, or when they're able to go out and say they're going to the library or the store or something like that. And suddenly they can't make a phone call. They can't even call for help if they need it because they're never by themselves. So rightfully so, everybody was quite concerned for the safety of women, and we were able to, navigate the pandemic, but we're still seeing, the fallout of the pandemic with the number of women needing services now that they're able to call safely being really high.
Whether you are in crisis or just beginning to suspect that you may require assistance, you can contact Birchway Niagara at any time via phone call, text, or email, as their services are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We have our 24/7 crisis line where women and children can call or text at any time. We have a 40-bed shelter here in Niagara Falls that services all of Southern Niagara. We have housing programs to help people gain access to housing and facilitate their moving. We do risk assessment and safety planning with women. We provide legal supports, so navigating the legal system can be really difficult when you're dealing with an abusive relationships and very difficult on the children too. So we have someone that's able to help them through that. We have child and youth supports, so really focusing on the kids and getting them the counseling and support that they need. And we also have satellite offices in Welland and Fort Erie and Port Colborne. If people are needing services out that way, we're happy to do that. And we have an aftercare program where when people discharge from the shelter, we continue to meet with them like in their homes and in the community to make sure that they're successful and set up so that they can maintain a life free from abuse.
By taking the time to become aware of what abuse is and the steps needed to end it, you will be taking the steps to make our communities safer for everyone.
Women are being targeted more than ever, specifically because they're women. We've seen an increase in the number of femicides in the community. I would like to see an environment where women can, feel safe to walk at night and, not have that fear. I'd also like to see some investment by the government in the sustainability of the shelter system and investment in intervention and prevention programs so that we can really end the cycle of abuse and support, women so that they can not enter into abusive relationships, and men in order to heal from past traumas that they have that may be causing them to be abusive.
For confidential 24-hour crisis support, please contact Birchway Niagara at 905-356-5800.